kirtan is to glorify the Lord, glorify the spiritual master. I'm just an instrument, to glorify. And I pray, before I start, I pray that if you want to make instrument such a way that the devotees who are hearing this kirtan, it touches their heart. Subtle desires are there, of course, recognition, name, fame, all this, they are there. But they are temporary. That's not going to last long. But really by heart, Lord, I glorify you. And as long as devotees who are hearing, they are happy and they come closer at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, then you make many instruments to do that.
From Alachua, Florida, this is Nectar Talks.
In collaboration with Krishna.com.
And in service to our Bhakti community.
I love that you said on the phone the other day, this is your normal outfit. Prabhu, it's so nice. So nice to have you. I really, really appreciate you coming on our show. You're like, for me, you're an iconic figure of Alachua. When I think of Alachua, even before I moved here, Bhadra Prabhu and Bhadra Prabhu's kirtans, they always come to mind. But I actually don't know you that well, and I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit about your background, your journey in Krishna consciousness, and all your amazing contributions to Prabhupada's movement. Maybe tell me a little bit about where you grew up, what kind of family environment you were raised in. Was it Vaishnava family? I don't know anything.
Thank you, Namamrita Prabhu, first of all, having me here.
Of course.
I'm Gujarati, Indian, Gujarati family. My ancestor, my family are the Pushti Marag, Vallabhacharya Sampradayas.
Okay.
So we basically, I didn't know besides Krishna anybody else. No demigods, I didn't know any demigods or anything, just Krishna at that time.
Uh-huh.
So I was brought up in the village in India, in Gujarat.
Which part of Gujarat?
That is near Baroda.
Baroda. Okay.
Vadodara now they call.
I just know Valsad because my wife, she grew up near Valsad.
She's from Valsad?
Yeah, Dharampur.
They're Gujarati?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
She was Gujarati. She's Gujarati. I see. Interesting. Because Gujarati, when they speak, they meet other Gujarati, they speak in Gujarati.
Yeah.
Even though wherever they are.
Right, yeah.
I see. So I did my education, BS in chemistry. And then as soon as I was done, I came to this country. I was young, 19. I came to this country. And I had to go to college and work at the same time to maintain myself. That's what I did. And I did BS in medical technology. I was working in a hospital, in the laboratory. Then at the same time, I did MBA. So at that time, my idea was to combine the technical knowledge with business knowledge and do something. But then meanwhile, I was going to, like other Hindus, goes to the temple, Hare Krishna temple. So I used to go to Hare Krishna temple. I went to West Virginia.
Okay.
New Vrindavan. I went a few times in New York, in the Brooklyn, during festivals time. And I was in Philadelphia mostly. And that's where I joined in Philadelphia temple because I saw the devotees are so happy, and I was not happy in the world. I was like distressed person, you can say. So.
What year did you join in Philadelphia?
I joined, I think it was end of 79 or 1980, beginning of 1980, somewhere in that area.
So we knew each other back then because I was born in the Philadelphia temple in 1979.
Yes, yes, because what happened is that at that time the BTG staff was in Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
And then they moved to New York. And I joined in Philadelphia, and then I was more inquiring about the Krishna consciousness even after joining it. And I was not satisfied with classes and things in Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sorry, I'm to tell that. But I was looking for a big kirtans and big nice classes, all this. So they moved me to New York, 55th Street.
Okay.
And that's where your father and all, they were there.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I was serving your father.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. I was cleaning his room, taking care of his plants.
Wow.
Yeah. From there, I knew your father. And I knew your mother also at that time, because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't meet you at that time. And of course, Dravida Prabhu and all this BTG staff was there, Jayadvaita Maharaj, everybody. So I was serving, I was cleaning the rooms and everything. I was new at that time, because they transferred from Philadelphia to New York, because they thought, let him go to New York, it's a big place, let him be there so he can be enthusiastic.
Yeah.
That
Now,
was good
when you
enough.
say you joined, you joined full time?
Full time.
Yeah.
Full time I joined and I gave everything, car and money and everything to
Wow.
Sriram was my temple president.
Yeah.
Sriram, he's no longer here on this planet. So that's where I joined, and then I was happy there. I was good in accounting, so they would have me take care of the accounting part.
Okay.
In New York. At the time, some devotees who are here in Alachpur, we were together there. And then and then of course we sold 55th Street building.
Mm-hmm.
I was part of it, but I didn't know much. I was just taking the accounting. I didn't know how they did it, I didn't know. That was, I was like a bhakta. I didn't ask all those questions. Of course, then when everybody spread it everywhere, some went to Lake Huntington, some went to New Jersey, where DT Gonita was transferred to New Jersey.
Okay.
Lord Jagannath was in Lake Huntington.
Uh-huh. So just stay in the 55th Street Temple for a little bit. What was that temple community like? I heard so much about 55th Street Temple. I don't know much about it. So compared to like Philadelphia at the time, and they said, you want some action, you go to this temple. So what was it like?
But that was the main hub, main temple, because it was a big 13-story building. And any sannyasis, any travelers came, sannyasi, Guru Maharaj came, Guru came, they came to.
All 13 stories belong to the devotees?
Yes, it was a whole big building. And I was told to be beside accounting. I like to go out, so I had to go to drive to the airport, bring the sannyasis whoever came, bring them, set them up, and that's what I was also doing. And if they want to go somewhere, I would take them.
Mm.
So 30-story building is a great building. It was a nice, we are more than 100 devotees, and morning program was very good.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah.
And what about 26 Second Avenue? Was that owned by the devotees at the time or no?
No, it was not. It is interesting that at that time, Loknath Maharaj came first time in America.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told to pick him up. I didn't know him. It's just like a regular sannyasi. I go over there to pick him. But then he wanted to go to 26 Second Avenue to see. And it's interesting that until that time, the owner of the building would not allow anybody to go inside, all the way where Prabhupada stayed. And somehow the Krishna's arrangement was, me and he went, we both went inside where upstairs where Srila Prabhupada stayed.
Wow.
That was interesting.
I certainly have never had access to that place.
Yeah.
Even today, you can't go see that, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think
But
so.
we were there.
Yeah. Wow, that's fascinating. Yeah, the New York, the movement's history in New York is obviously very significant. So you witnessed a lot of that.
Yes. No, it was we had 150 devotees, and it was a big thing was going on, Sankirtan, but we didn't have money. That was the problem.
Right.
I had to pay the bills. I was in charge to pay the bills.
That's stressful.
No, it was okay. I knew how to handle it. But the point was that it was cold. And in the cold days, to heat up this big building.
13 floors to heat up.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't have money. And the one time the pipe broke in the basement.
Wow.
And we were cold because how can we heat up the whole building? And I guess the authorities then decided that, we'll have to sell it. And that I don't know the details about how did it work out.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
then we went to Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, and today we have Bhakti Center, Brooklyn Temple, so it's still a thriving area, right?
Yes, of course,
Prabhupada-
New York
Prabhupada.
is a place.
Yeah.
That's why Srila Prabhupada came.
So you were an accountant at the time. What, between then and now, what are some of the main services, and what about the other services that you've done?
Well,
since
see,
then?
then when everybody was spread everywhere, everybody going everywhere from New York, then I was in Philadelphia, and I said, what am I going to do now? So let me go to India, just to see what is India like in preaching.
Mhm.
And I had connected with Loknath Maharaj when he came here first time, and I liked his kirtans, So I just, without him calling, I just went to Delhi. And when I went to him, he said, you came and you didn't tell me, I would have come to pick you up at the airport. I said, Maharaj, you are Maharaj, who am I? I'm just, I know how to come, so I just came here. So then I was there, and I was temple commander there. And because Maharaj knew that I'm a person of something with energy and do something and, and manage. So he put me as temple commander, and that's the first Ratha Yatra I was his assistant. First Ratha Yatra we did in Delhi, first time. And I was part of that. And then, of course, Anang Manjari was there.
Your wife?
Yeah. She was there, and I didn't know her. I didn't know what her situation was there. How's, anything about it. But she would come to the temple, and she was not happy. So few days she didn't come. So I asked other people, where is that Mataji? Why she didn't come? So she's not doing good and all that. So I don't know, somehow that I met her, and first time I met her, and I said, you are not coming. As a temple commander, I said, you're not coming to temple on this. And she said many things. So I said, I will take care of you. Just like that.
And that was a match made in Delhi.
Yeah. She's from Boston, I'm coming from here and going there. And she was kind of surprised to hear that. But I said, I will take care of you. But of course, we know what happened is, I know where people believe in this Brigu or whatever, Brigu Samhita.
Okay.
Brigu Samhita, it tells the past lives.
Okay.
So we had finally we inquired, how is that? We from different culture. We both are different cultures. You don't know me, I don't know you. In the first thing I'm telling that I'll take care of you. And so we found out later, according to Brigu Samhita, that she was my wife in previous life.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I was the same husband.
So this is something you do with like an expert in Brigu science.
They give in India. There is Brigu Samhita read by in Punjab, and that Mataji used to come at Nalinikanta's place. That Mataji who reads. Okay. So I had connected with her, and I had given all information, our birth date and where and all that. So
Nalinikanta, who is one of our local astrologers, of course.
Yes. Yeah. So then I had written, and my daughter Ganga was our daughter again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's why we connect easily with each other, even at right now.
Interesting.
So it was meant to that happen. So we got married, and then of course I came back to States because married means now I have to maintain.
So your wife is from the U.S.
She's from Boston.
From Boston, that's right.
Yeah. But I didn't know about her past. What she I knew she was Srila Prabhupada disciple. So anyhow, we stayed here for a while. But my mind was always in India to do something, and India also wanted me to be there also. So I was there again in India and coming back and forth. Finally, Loknath Maharaj kind of always any project he took, he would just tell Bhadra, come and help me, you my assistant. So then when he started Padayatra, That was the 500th anniversary of Lord Chaitanya. It was in 1986. Was we supposed to that Padayatra started in 1984 in September from Dwarka. This Padayatra was international Padayatra.
Okay, so define Padayatra for me.
Padayatra is the walking where Lord Chaitanya walked all the holy places when he traveled from Jagannath Puri. He traveled to South India and went to Vrindavan walking.
Okay, so when you go on Padayatra, you're going on those same walks as Lord Chaitanya.
Same walks.
I see.
Idea of the GBC had this international GBC decided that this Padayatra will start from Dwarka, September 1984, and it has to reach in March 1986 because that is the 500th anniversary of Lord Chaitanya.
Mm-hmm.
So I was here then, I thought I should go. I should join Padayatra. So I joined Padayatra. And Padayatra is like everyday festival. We had a bullock cart with Gaunita, Srila Prabhupada. We had a camel cart. We had a big tractor with all the dioramas of Lord Chaitanya's pastime showing to the people on the way. And every night we had a festival.
Wow.
So I was a manager.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trained up
Mm-hmm.
to run these festivals.
Yeah.
And we had a big festivals every night, every village. Whole down from Dwarka, coming to back down to Kanyakumari at the bottom, then going up to Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, and reaching Bengal. All the states we were walking.
And you said that's over how many days?
That was started in September 1984 to March 1986.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, I joined later on. I didn't join beginning.
So like a 6 months.
No, 84 to 86. So whole 85.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Whole 85.
Every day?
Yes, every day.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Walking all the stairs, down, all up.
How do you manage that?
We managed it. It was every day
now
festival.
I see where you got the training, and now,
Right, exactly.
Now of course, if Bhadra Prabhu lives in Florida, Florida is going to be the Ratha Yatra state. It all makes sense.
Yeah, what happened is that so after Ratha Yatra, then Lokraj Maharaj want to start a parikrama, Brajmandal parikrama. So 1986 we reached to Mayapur. And then Padayatra, GBC said now Padayatra is done because our goal was to bring you to Mayapur, so we are not responsible. But we said the Padayatra is so successful, people are so happy coming to go into village. So why not continue it? Mm-hmm. So we continued it. Mm-hmm. And we came through Bihar, we came to Vrindavan in 1987 in February, March. So Maharaj said we should have a Brajmandal parikrama. Okay. So we started 84 course Brajmandal parikrama in 1987 first time, and I was managing.
Okay. So describe the Brajmandal parikrama. What does that look like?
Brajmandal parikrama is the Sri Krishna performed the pastimes in 12 forests of Braj.
Okay.
And this is and we walk all these 12 forests. And we pinpoint where the Krishna performed the pastimes. Mm. Each pastime in each forest, and many other places also. So Lord Chaitanya had performed when he came to Vrindavan, he had performed Brajmandal parikrama. Mm. So we followed the same path.
That's different than when we hear Vrindavan parikrama.
No.
Two different things.
Yeah, Vrindavan parikrama is just the Vrindavan town parikrama, which is only 14 kilometers. I remember around that. But this is you talking about the parikrama, which is the whole Braj. Uh-huh. Means it includes Barsana, it includes Radhakund, it includes Govardhan, it includes Nandagram, it includes Adibadri, Kedarnath, Kamyavan, all these places included. And it takes more than 1 month. But we do it 1 month.
Okay.
So 84 we started this parikrama, and still this parikrama is going on. And I'm still it's 36 years, I'm doing that parikrama.
Wow.
For last 36 years. I had missed 1 or 2 years that month. Mm. But then Maharaj started a governmental parikrama in Mayapur. And that was also part of it. I was like his assistant
Yeah.
to help him, whatever he tell me to do as a manager. So we started that parikrama. And that we managed for 2-3 years. GBC was not involved. Mayapur was not involved. We were just doing it, and we just did it. But gradually become successful. Then GBC took over that government parikrama.
Yeah, so you kind of pioneered these kinds of pilgrimages in a sense.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit, what benefits do you see for whether it's devotees or, what kind of people come on these parikramas, and what kind of benefit do you see that this gives to someone in their life? Let's say someone who's coming from the West and they go for this 1 month Brajmandal parikrama. What have been some of your experiences with the people that attend?
Yes. See, parikrama is like you going and camping out. It's like that. You go in the forest and camping out on your own tent like that. But we have, in the beginning, we didn't have a good facilities. We were starter. We didn't know a path. One first parikrama we were lost. We reached at 12 midnight to our place.
Wow.
We didn't know the path. We were just, going and following. Yeah. But actually, main thing is what following the path of Lord Chaitanya walked. So, parikrama is something which is, because see, we read Krishna book every day. Srila Prabhupada said Krishna book. Of course, I'm not reading every day, but Krishna book. And we see everything. We read all Krishna's pastimes. So he did this, he did that. But when you are in parikrama, you are actually there.
Yeah.
You see? And you are actually hearing those pastimes right at that place, what he did.
Right.
And that stuck in the mind, stuck in the heart.
Yeah.
That, here is a place. Yeah. He did this pastime.
Right.
You see?
It brings the scripture to life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, what it does is it's walking. Walking is the best exercise. So that also helps physically to walk. And walking in the Braj Raj, where Krishna walked bare feet, you're walking there, right there. I mean that's very auspicious to do that. And it's 1 month is a good is run in Kartik, and it is not hot, it is not cold. It's a nice weather there, and you are away from the Vrindavan now. Vrindavan is like a city now. Vrindavan village is like a city. Yeah. For us, when we return from parikrama, we feel like we are in New York, back in New York, when we return to Vrindavan, because it's like city. But when you are going internally in parikrama, we see the culture.
Right.
In these villages, you can actually feel the culture of that Braj.
Yes.
And the people, I live in the people's houses. I don't live with parikrama. They know me. I'm 36 years I'm going. So I live in the house. And they would have you sit wherever they are cooking the chapati and sabji. You are sitting right there, and they serve you. And in the going to their house, you don't have to knock the door or dog or anything. You just go in and they welcome you. You see? That's the culture when you go in parikrama, Brajmandal, you can see it, you feel it. The little boys are taking the cows in the morning going for grazing the cows. There are kundas where you take a bath. That these cows are going to come to drink water here, which we read in Srimad Bhagavatam. So you read in bank of the Jamuna, where Krishna had stole the garments of the gopis. You are right there on the bank of the Jamuna. That's where a tree is there. This is where Krishna went up, stole the gopis' dresses. And there's where Katyayani temple, where you see the Katyayani, gopis worship Katyayani. Katyayani temple is right there, which is established by Krishna's great grandson Prajanab. So all these things and it's unfortunate that I have whole PowerPoint presentation of whole this 12 forests, and here in Arachva nobody even asked me to show it. I travel last 2 years. I'm traveling in Europe everywhere, and they want me to show it. So I give seminar for 4 or 5 days on all this parikrama.
Well, now it's known. There's a PowerPoint waiting for us.
So that's what helped me. So when I came here, okay, you want to ask a question probably.
Oh, well, I really like what you're describing about the culture that is. So even today, you're saying that this culture of like the village of Vrindavan is still found when you
Yes.
go on
Oh,
a
definitely.
parikram. And yeah, it's like, I mean, it's you go on vacation in Mexico and you go to the famous beach resort, you're not going to see anything of the culture until you know a local person to take you in. So I can imagine how on the level of, Vrindavan and discovering that spiritual culture, that's fascinating.
Yeah, because see, devotees go to Vrindavan, but Vrindavan they see is the buildings and the
Right.
dogs and the
Right.
and the charity, and they think, oh, this is what the.
Right.
But when you go inside,
Yeah.
then you see the people, how they are so welcoming you. Without doesn't matter who you are. Anybody can just go in and just speak little bit Hindi them and say, yeah, please sit down. They will give you chapati and sabji, like that.
Yeah, it's funny, having grown up in the movement, I hear so much about going to Vrindavan, the Dham, the holy Dham. And I finally went to a yatra in Jagannath Puri recently. And so I can relate and I understand for the first time in my life everything you're describing, how it's true. When you really go with the right intention, the right mood, for the right reason, and then if you have a guide like yourself who can take you to really experience not only the culture, but to read the scriptures in the actual location, it all comes to life. And I really discovered how this is an integral part of the process. I mean, it just really accelerates your understanding of not just the philosophy, but the pastimes, and then you bring that back home. And like you were saying earlier, this is going to leave impressions in your mind and in your heart that you can really carry with you in your daily life. And I've definitely experienced that. So I think that is such an incredible contribution. What a valuable service to take pilgrims on those journeys.
Besides that, in this parikrama, I take care of all the Westerners, English speaking. Doesn't matter is Indian or whoever they are. So I have separate classes in English for them, and I invite some others. So, and they make sure if they have any issue or something, they come to me and I talk with the management of the parikrama because I'm also part of the management. So that way I also help them. If there's some difficulties, some problems, something, I take care of them because they have to be taken care. And we have a good facility. Now we have so many good facilities. We have doctors. We have massage machine. Yeah.
Fantastic. So you do this every year? What time of the year?
It's in Kartik.
During
Every
Kartik?
year
Okay.
Kartik.
So do you do the Kartik Brajmandal Parikram?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for asking.
So, okay, we're touching upon all the big services. And by the way, I appreciate another thing that you said. We touched base yesterday, I think. I just wanted to see if there's any particular themes you wanted to touch upon. And I appreciate how you immediately said, whatever I've done, it's all Krishna and Prabhupada. And I just want to say that I took that to heart. It's a beautiful demonstration of true Vaishnava qualities. So that being said, I know of the Ratha Yatra involvement that you have over here. There's a whole Ratha Yatra committee in Alachua. We're known as the Ratha Yatra State. I'd love to hear a little bit about that service, and not just the organization, but mostly, again, I went to Jagannath Puri for the first time. I walked down the Grand Road. I was at the door of the Jagannath Temple, and Lord Jagannath himself, the Ratha Yatra, the whole pastime of what Ratha Yatra means, became very prevalent in my heart, understanding what that was. So tell us a little bit of what is the meaning for you in contributing to these Ratha Yatra festivals that we have so many here in Florida.
Yeah, what happened is that in 1996, 1996 was the 100th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada, and India was a big place to celebration. So I was assistant there in that centennial celebration in India.
Okay.
And few places we did first Ratha Yatras, just like in Jhansi, where Srila Prabhupada stayed. We did first Ratha Yatra there. I was part of it to help to organize. How? Because it is new place and we have to find, the donors, and we have to form a committee and all that. So we did that first one there. And then we also did first Ratha Yatra in Amritsar and Louisiana in Punjab. And that they were very successful. So after the centennial celebration, I was free. What am I going to do now? Family is there, 3 kids are there, to maintain.
Yeah.
So, my wife is from Boston. So Krishna arranged it that her brother called her and said, Daddy is sick, you have to come and help. Because his mom is sick. His mom is also old. Their father is old. So we thought, let's go to Boston. At least we'll have a place. And that was the first time after the marriage I went first time to their house after 18 years.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm black, brown skin guy, and they are white skin. It was only open, and she's Ananga is, from Italian background. So her mom was like, you are Italian soul. That was her thing. You ate pizza, you ate pastas. You are Italian soul. And then top of that, she marries with me, So I had seen them after our marriage, but I never went there, Boston. So it was kind of, suddenly I go in their house after 18 years, first time.
Wow.
But I mean, as it says, as you get old, you become like a child.
Right.
So her parents loved her, So because of that love, we were there. We were there, and Vishwambar was Lord.
So they accepted you after 18 years when you showed up?
They accepted me. Her father was very, very receptive. He knew, he connected with each other.
Yeah.
But then they were still, her mother was still, not into Hare Krishna. Still, after this many years, her daughter is still there and she's going on service. So we didn't. We would go to the temple on Sunday without letting them know, because they would say, "Where are you going?" So Vishwambar somehow spoke this, Nanny, we call her Nanny. We are going to temple.
Uh-oh.
So anyhow, that's what we did it, and we told that we're gonna only cook in the kitchen, only vegetarian,
Yeah.
So they would go out and eat, and we whatever Anga cooks, they would eat and all that. But then it's interesting happened that we were there for a while, 2-3 years, and I would come here to do the business in Florida.
Okay.
And I knew Srila Prabhu.
Uh-huh.
Srila was my temple president from the Philadelphia time.
Okay.
So I would come and Srila Prabhu would have me stay there. So I used to come back and put a lachua because I saw a nice weather and all that, So after staying there 2-3 years, and then one thing about it, it was her mom's birthday, Ananga's mom's birthday. So I told Ananga, I said, we should have a nanny's birthday celebrated in the temple. He said, are you kidding? She's not going to come to the temple. I said, well, let me ask her. I mean, it's her birthday. So I said, Nanny, your birthday we're going to celebrate in temple. We'll have big cake. So she came.
So
First
this is
time.
a Boston temple.
Boston temple. First time.
Wow.
After so many years, her daughter has joined.
Yeah.
And then she loved it. And since after that, she always, every Sunday, she came to temple, And she would sit in the back, cry, and she would eat prasadam. And then after some time, we moved here. And even after we moved here, we had arranged with devotee to bring her back to temple, back and forth every Sunday.
Wow.
And she went back and forth. So then, of course, her father left body and she was alone there. Of course, we had brought here and she left her body here in presence of everybody. In the morning time, 4:15, 4:30 morning Mangal, Galataitam, Brahma Muhurat time, she left body here. And that's all another story because I'm not going to go through that. Anyhow.
But I'm just thinking back
Yes.
to when Vishwambar, little boy, says, Nani, we're going to temple. And that's how it started, right?
Yes, it started.
You already had a potent voice back then, Vishwambar.
Yeah, he was, he was from the childhood. He was trained up.
Yeah.
He was in Padayatra in 84, 85, 86. He was, he was born in 83, so he was only 1 or 2 years. And he was in Padayatra with us. He was in parikramas with us. He has done 5 or 6 parikramas, I think.
Yeah, I want to get into your kids at some point, but just to finish up the Ratha Yatras.
Yeah.
So how did we get to, how many Ratha Yatras do we have every year in Florida now?
Well, see what happened then when I came here, I can say background Ratha Yatra.
Yeah.
When I came here, the temple was built, and of course we had Radha Shyam Sundar in 2000. I was also part of the installation ceremony of this Radha Shyam Sundar. I had come here. And then I thought I should just move here, So I bought a house and we just moved here in this house. Ananga had not even seen this house. I'm calling her and say I'm buying the house. She had not even seen the house. I said it's near temple, lot of trees. So she said, buy it if you want to buy it. So I bought the temple. So we moved here. Then what happened is that because of my experience of this parikrama and traveling and arranging festivals, so when I came here, it was devotees were keep moving in Alachua. But devotees were so busy with their, griha, working and the family and just so it wasn't big. I mean, now it's big, but at that time it wasn't big. But devotees were keep moving in, and I saw that Alachua is in center here. You have on this side is the St. Augustine. You have Jacksonville Beach, you have Daytona Beach. On this side, you have Clearwater Beach, you have Tampa, Orlando, you have... I said, Tallahassee is there. I said, this is the central place. And I thought, of course, Krishna is giving me this. I guess Krishna wants you to put an instrument, I guess, to do this. And I said, this is the present place, and we can do Ratha Yatra all these places. Why not? And it's only 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 1.5 hour drive. And besides that, I said, I thought that all these devotees who are moving, they have children. And they will devotees would love to bring the children and all family on the beach. So they can go swimming on the beach, but at the same time, we have Lord Jagannath procession on the beach, and they pull the cart, and they invite other people from the beach, and have the prasadam there, and chanting holy name, and people will be also happy. So we didn't have cart. We had somehow or other, at that time, we had a bullock cart. Somehow or other somewhere in the temple property was sitting. Nobody was even using that. Just small bullock cart. So I went to the Jacksonville Beach authorities and I said, I want a permission for Ratha Yatra. And they said, what is Ratha Yatra? What are you talking about here? I said, it will be nice procession with a parade, with chanting the spiritual songs, and we will just walk on the beach, and we want some, one park where we will distribute the free vegetarian food, and we will talk something spiritual and all that. So somehow that I got the permission, But the funny thing was they gave permission because the mayor, Mr. Flint Sharp, he had gone to the UF here in Gainesville. He had taken the lunch.
Okay.
I didn't know that. So because he was a mayor and he knew Hare Krishnas, so he gave permission right away.
Wow.
You see, so first Ratha Yatra we started on Jacksonville Beach.
Okay.
This was 23 or 24 years ago. And that started, and when management loved it, the management of this, West Jacksonville Beach, they loved it because these guys are peaceful people. So we're gonna clean up. We're gonna nothing anything, and that's what we did even today. We make sure we cleaned up after Ratha Yatra is done. Nothing leave.
Yeah.
So it started that Ratha Yatra, and there was not many devotees. The weather was also not good. And thanks to Vishnu Priya Mataji and Srila Prabhu, they live in Jacksonville, and she had cooked all this prasadam because it was first Ratha Yatra. I said, you have to cook, she has cooked the prasad she brought. But Hari Prabhu was there in first Ratha Yatra, and we did that first Ratha Yatra. And then I thought, what about other places? So I went to St. Augustine and asked for the permission. They gave permission, and that was big.
So is it always the mayor you ask permission to? Or?
No. There is a whole different department.
Were there other interesting, exchanges when you would make that initial demand? Hey, we'd like to have this festival.
Yes, it happened. It happened in Clearwater Beach.
Uh-huh.
Clearwater Beach, when I asked for a permission, they didn't know what I'm talking here. Indian guy, what is talking about this? Guru going the parade with a chariot and what's going on? So, but
you ever show them the photo of the Ratha Yatra in Jagannath Puri? This is what we're trying to do.
No, what happened is that the girl Lorraine at the Jacksonville Beach, she was so favorable to me, and somehow that I connected with her. And I would talk always about spiritual life and all that. Uh-huh. And she was taking care of her parents, who were old. So I would talk about that also. She's so connected. So I would tell the Clearwater Beach people, please talk to Lorraine. Okay. This is her phone to talk to her. She will give you more information. Okay. So they would call her, and she would take 1 hour. She would explain she would take 1 hour of their time and tell everything about Ratha Yatra. Wow. So then we got Clearwater Beach, I got it. Mm. And then gradually in Tampa, we connected in Tampa. Now one thing is, we have the big cart here from New York. Srila Prabhupada had taken a ride on this cart.
Really?
Yes.
I never knew that.
Yes, see, nobody knows that.
Is this the one that stays at, what's the Prabhu's name?
From Guyana.
Yeah.
Yes. Trivikram. No, Trivikram.
Oh, Trivikram Prabhu. Okay.
He lives in the 239.
Yeah. So that's where it's kept.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened is that
we have one or more than one cart.
One cart. No, that one cart, and we have another 2 carts.
Okay. So we have 3 carts altogether.
3 carts. Yeah.
Okay.
But that cart is a big. In New York, they were using. That was built by probably, our Jayananda or something like that. And Srila Prabhupada rode on that cart. Was the cart. It's a prasadam.
Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada sat on that cart.
But you don't use that one all the time.
Well, what happened is that cart from New York they had brought in Boston. Okay. And I stayed in Boston temple, so I knew everybody. So I asked Niranjan Maharaj was GBC there. So I asked Niranjan Maharaj, can I take this cart? There also it was sitting in one devotee's house. Mm. And Siddhi Muni and all other, Siddhi Muni and other devotees, I forgot his name. They were the one who were assembling that cart in Boston. Uh-huh. But after assembling, they would just distance, would leave it there. Mm-hmm. So I asked Niranjan Maharaj, can I bring this cart? They said, yeah, don't take it. So we had brought it here, and we used that big cart, 2 or 3 Ratha Yatras in Tampa. Okay. Because in Tampa, it is a big cart, So we used that cart, and it to assemble, they had to go night before they had to go assemble. It was too much for the devotees. Mm-hmm. So then we kept there. I'm in temple, so hopefully, I hope that in temple, future in this temple, they can bring that cart and right in the temple ground. Yeah, it's sitting there in some devotee's house, it's okay. But it's prasadam.
Yeah, that's a monument to be visited by those who come to Alachua.
Right.
Wonderful.
And then of course we built other 2 carts. And Dharmaraj had also Dharmaraj and his family.
Dharmaraj Prabhu, so he also has a cart that he keeps at his place.
Yeah, what happened is that then we had to have a cart built if you want to do all this Ratha Yatra. Yeah. And Dharmaraj also had a experience of Padayatra in Guyana. Okay. So he had that experience. Mm-hmm. So somehow or other we both click with each other. So, and then of course Govinda Shire, Govinda mother, they had a deities.
Right.
So we 3 combined.
So that's the core
Yes,
core
correct.
team right there.
Yeah, so Govinda takes care of DD, bring DTs.
Yeah.
Dharmaraj takes care of the cart. I don't have to do anything.
Okay.
I do everything else.
Okay. And
Everything
then you also have a lot of volunteers. I know I heard of
Yes.
some devotees. Yeah, I'm on the Ratha Yatra team. And
Yeah, then gradually I had to build up how much I can do myself, So I build up gradually. I build up some devotees, and I like to. I don't micromanage. I macromanage. I give them responsibility. You do it. If you have any problem, anything, let's talk about it. Otherwise, you run it.
Yeah.
That's why they also feel comfortable that it's their baby.
that's
to do it.
fantastic. It's the
That's
way
why
to
I
do it.
Yeah, that's why I do it. So then, it's one after another, one after another, one after another. It started, and I think Balachwa community is happy because they are the families and youth mainly. My point was mainly they engage the youth because youth is the energy to do the kirtans on the beach. Yeah. And if you see all our videos, it's all youth. And they engage is all the beach go. They are in the bikinis and all that and make them dance and chant and all kinds of things they do, all this youth. Yeah. So that way it started and continued.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for doing the service and engaging so many people in the service and for sharing how it all kind of took place.
One more thing I can add.
Yeah, please.
Gasparilla Parade.
Yeah, I always hear about this Gasparilla Parade. What's that all about?
What happened is that Gasparilla Parade is a pirates parade.
Okay.
It's going on in Tampa. This is the third largest parade in the United States.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
700, 800,000 spectators.
Wow.
4.5 mile parade. 4.5 mile.
So it's a pirate parade.
A pirates parade.
Okay.
So how did we get into it? That's another big question about it. And Hare Krishna has already asked for the permission. Some of the devotees from Tampa, they had gone privately to ask permission. Hare Krishna's can we allow? They said we don't allow religious organization.
But somehow we're in there.
Yeah. Now what happened is that Rashikananda was, now he's called Rasika Madhava, Rashikananda, Makanda's brother.
Yeah.
Me and him connect with each other. He's a brilliant. So I kind of asked, how should we do it? How should we get into it? So he came up with the idea, and he said that the gypsies are coming from East India, from Vrindavan. From Jagannath Puri. And these are the gypsies who are serving Lord Jagannath when Lord Jagannath is sick for 2 weeks after Snan Yatra. And these are the gypsies who are pirates. See? So when I send information to them, I say, look, we are representing your culture. These gypsies are the pirates and we are following that culture and we are representing you, that here. Wow. So please allow us.
And of course they took it.
Yeah, they said it's okay. And then what I did is, this is a parade. Now people, Alachua devotees, and it was a little bit conflict because I took only the youth in that parade. And we made such a good impression that I have 70, 80 youth there, all Vishwambar and Gaur Shakti and everybody, Kish and all the ladies, Gangi and Kamala Manjari, all of them, and our Annupayani, they are the dancers. So all of them, all girls are in the front dancing, choreographed, and they are having gopi darts and tilak and the Harinam chadar and the garland, and in the back is all the boys. They are having tilaks and Vaishnav dress, and they are also chanting and dance. And we have a small cart with Lord Jagannath, Baldev Subhadra Maharani, and Srila Prabhupada is putting on the bed. It's pulled by the truck. So I had the 70, 80 devotees in the front, chanting and walking and dancing with a big sound system. Its sound vibration goes, it's unlimited. So we have that in sound. We have that big sound system, and all these devotees in the front is all the girls are walking and dancing, choreographed. And there is 4.5 miles. There are 600,000 to 700,000 spectators, all way up to the end.
Yeah.
And they are so, and we are I mean, there is other bands in that Jasper parade, but I think we are the only one for 4.5 miles. Our youth are walking, chanting, and dancing energetically.
Yeah.
You know, so that made the impression. Then people were so receptive, so receptive. They want to touch our hand, they want to shake our hand, they want to thank you, and they throw their beads to us and all that. They do.
So
that's
now
what
is it open to the whole community can go, or because
No,
it's part of the parade, you
no.
still have to maintain?
I'm careful because once our all the devotees go, then they come in the different dresses, and no, this is.
You got to be organized to have the impact you're trying to have. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what helped to Tallahassee Ratha Yatra. Tallahassee, they were doing the parade. They were doing before. I was a part of it. But Hare Krishnas have tendency sometimes that is Krishna, is Prabhu is Krishna. We can do anything. No, we cannot do anything. They have their rules and regulations. We follow policy. We have to follow. Someone come to temple, don't you have to follow the policy?
Right.
So they had not followed the policy in Tallahassee. And they stopped giving the permit for 1 or 2 years. But I thought I have to get into it. We cannot just leave it like that.
Yeah.
So I somehow or other maneuver somehow or other, and we got the permit again. When we got the permit, I said we're going to take only the youth, nobody else. Because it's limited, it's not a Ratha Yatra.
Right, this is not a Ratha Yatra. This is you're part of a parade. Yeah, that makes sense.
So we took youth, Vishwambar and the Pine and all of them, we had taken them. Yeah. And they loved it. We got award 2-3 times from Tallahassee parade. Yeah. And still we are doing that. But we say only, because they allow only 30, 35, 40 people. So we take the Manorama Prabhu is now helping to get them together. So
fantastic.
So
well, I guess I'll dress as a non-devotee and just sit in the parade so I can at least see you guys over there.
No, you can come. Now we are Gaur Shakti. Last year, in this year parade, I told Gaur Shakti and Krishnadam Mataji and Jai Shri Krishna, I said, you guys are allowed to actively involved in this parade. I'm doing
like
everything else.
Such a place to spread the holy name.
Yeah.
You have the eye for seeing those opportunities.
Yeah, I said, I will do everything else, but you have to get the youth together. You have to get them. It's one bus taking 55 youth. It's costing $2,000 just to rent a bus.
Yeah.
And I said, we are spending money, but we have to fill up. We have to fill up the bus. Yeah. So this year all of three of them got together, and I said, this is all your project. Now next year you'll have to get the youth together. I will take care of all the other permit part and all that. I will take care of it. Yeah. And they are happy with it.
Well, again,
so I'm trying
thank you.
I'm trying the youth to. Ultimately, we are getting old, and we will live. We don't know. So I said, youth, you will have to, be actively involved. And I'm sure because you all are trained up in Ratha Yatra, so I don't think there will be a problem to continue.
This succession is the time has come. We're beyond the time of succession.
Exactly. Yes.
I know that all of you who have really pioneered these programs, you're really feeling it. So thank you for involving the youth and giving us the enthusiasm and the understanding of all these things are so important.
Yeah, you all have to turn.
So speaking of, you must be a pretty proud father. You got 3 wonderful kids that are all doing service of their own.
Everything is happening by Krishna's arrangement. Who am I? I'm not a doer. I think that my pulse ego thinks I'm a doer, but I'm not. Krishna is arranging it ultimately. As far as the kids, my son and 2 daughters are concerned, I was not part of their. I was a part of their life, but not actually, because I was involved. One thing I did is that in my life is I balanced my spiritual life and material life. I balanced it. Mm-hmm. I never gave up my spiritual life, So I was always, even in married life, I was in that consciousness. Mm. So I was, Ananga is the main, get the credit for bringing up these kids in that direction. I wasn't. I was a strict person. She was liberal. Mm-hmm. So it was like, they go more towards liberal, not to the strict person like me,
I love your wife. I've had conversations with her. Yes, she is a forward-thinking, incredible lady. I think she can really help someone. Speaking of balance, help find that balance of having a realistic approach to spiritual life.
And also one thing about Ananga's nature is that she didn't stop me for traveling and preaching. Even though we are 42 years marriage. She never stopped me. Anywhere when I wanted to go to preaching, she didn't stop me. So that was good quality. So these kids were brought up by her.
Yeah.
She made she made Krishna conscious fun to them.
Yeah.
But now we are both are on a separate path. I'm on my own, one-press kind of life.
Yeah.
I'm on my own. Everything I'm doing on my own. I'm not connected with.
Well, thank you for sharing those intimate family details. Hope I'm not pushing the envelope too far there.
Well, it is that's the way it is. So I should be open and honest about it.
Yeah, Vanaprastha is. I know even at my age. I'm not talking about do you stay with your spouse and all that, but just this concept of Vanaprastha is really something to look forward to in our spiritual journey. Once we've hopefully gotten everything taken care of, our family and our material situation, to get to that point in life where we can really go 100% and okay, this is the last stretch for Krishna.
It's not easy.
I'm sure it's not easy.
Because being 42 years spoiled,
Right.
with prasadam and
Right.
laundry
Now
and cleaning, and
now you're trying to be a little bit more
for the last 2 years I'm on my own doing it. But I'm getting it. I'm more focused now on doing more and more chanting and Srimad Bhagavatam classes and giving classes and traveling. That's what I do now. Plus managing this.
Okay. So there's one last thing I wanted to ask you about, and like I said in the beginning, you're known for your incredible kirtans. I'm always so excited when you're at the microphone, whether it's the famous Radhastami kirtan or a morning Guru Puja. Is there some training that you've had? Is it a family lineage? Where it is? Because even my mother, who came to a kirtan the other day, you were the one leading. She immediately was just talking about your kirtan a lot.
Her mother is here?
Yeah.
I guess I should meet her. I guess I know her from the 55th Street. She must be looking different probably. That's why probably I don't.
But she was going on and on about that kirtan and how potent it was. And so, I know this is, you're a proper, humble Vaishnava. But where do you think this is coming from? That those kirtan is there an actual musician training that you've had growing up? And I know there's two things. There's a spiritual side of kirtan, and then there's the actual musical side of it. But tell us a little bit about any background about your musical capabilities and kirtan capabilities.
No, it was when I was in the school. I loved singing the Hindi film songs. I always sing that songs, and I go to see the movies and all that. Everybody else does it. But then when I came to spiritual life, it got into me. I started to sing. But one thing is that I'm thankful to the management here in Alachua that they're allowing me to lead the kirtans. Kirtan is to glorify the Lord, glorify the spiritual master. I'm just an instrument, to glorify. And I pray, before I start, I pray that my Lords, I'm an instrument here chosen to lead the kirtan, but if you want to make instrument such a way that the devotees who are hearing this kirtan, it touches their heart. I pray like that, and if you allow me to do that as an instrument, please allow me to do that way. And I try to, subtle desires are there, of course, recognition, name, fame, all this, they are there. But they are temporary, and I pray to the Lord, please don't let me go through this temporary thinking I'm recognized to be a big kirtan man now. That's not going to last long. But really by heart, Lord, I glorify you, and as long as devotees who are hearing, they are happy and they come closer at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, then you make many instruments to do that. You see. Because ultimately, everybody's relation with him, I'm one of the instruments to bring touches. If they're touching their heart, then they will more inspire, they will more come closer to Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. So with that consciousness, I try to do. But sometimes mind has a tendency to go other side, so I have to bring it back.
Perfect. Such a genuine, perfect answer, and thank you for showing the example on the proper approach to kirtan.
I mean, otherwise, Bhadra will be gone somewhere in the pits if I'm going to be thinking of the, name, fame, profit, distinction, recognition. These are all that still within the heart, but I'm praying to purify me, and this helps me to purify. With that consciousness I'm doing, then it helps me to purify.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. Thank you.
Fantastic, Prabhu. Thank you so much. On the final note, is there something in your spiritual journey? A lot of times, it can take many years to come around to understanding whether it's a philosophical point or the application of bhakti yoga. Is there something that you can think of that has taken you a while to kind of realize and that you understand now that you didn't understand maybe 20, 30 years ago? What's something like that you could share for our viewers?
Chanting Hare Krishna, 16 rounds.
What about it?
Well, before it was like, I have to do it, I do it. And still at present, I have to do it. But what happened is that because after 30, 40 years chanting Hare Krishna, sometimes some habits are there. Because you all are grown up in Krishna consciousness. We are not. We are coming with our previous habits. From past life or this life. We don't know. So even after coming Krishna consciousness, 40, 50 years, sometimes the subtle habits are difficult to remove.
Yeah.
And when we chanting Hare Krishna, and still we sometimes tendency comes to think, this process is not working for me. We have seen devotees discouraged. After 30, 40 years, they chant Hare Krishna, but their habit is not gone. So they think, this process is not working for me. It's not working. Right. This process is useless. But I had always a backup. My Shiksha Guru is Narayana Mataji. My Diksha Guru is Sasur Maharaj. So Sasur Maharaj is difficult to get in touch. He's old now. Of course, I have good relation. We are so common. We touch for last couple of years. But Shiksha Guru, Narayana Mataji always to convince me that no, chanting is going to work, but you have to be patient and go on. So I have some prayers which I chant before I chant my 16 rounds. It takes me 45 minutes to chant all those prayers and obeisances and all that. Wow. Yes, before I start chanting.
Wow.
But that helps me after those prayers and all my rituals, you can call, that helps me to concentrate on my chanting, and that helps me to see the reality and go on. So that's what.
Thank you. That's just an unexpected answer, but also, I can say that I've also come around in, maybe a couple of decades with being able to hear you say that and not get triggered or like, here we go again with the 16 rounds. Because you're absolutely right. It's something that just takes the consistency and the patience and the trust in other senior devotees who really can tell us from real experience the power of chanting those 16 rounds. And I've come a little bit of distance to be able to understand that better. And to prepare for 45 minutes to chant 16 rounds, I have also different Shiksha gurus, and one of them has been telling me lately to, just offer a prayer, to want to chant good japa, to be able to appreciate the japa. And so this is really good for me to hear, because even just one short prayer is hard for me to do that. And to hear that you're doing it daily for 45 minutes that shows true dedication, and I can only imagine that Krishna would reciprocate with that.
Well, see, most of the 16 rounds is the most important in the spiritual life of our 4 regular principles. Sometimes you drift because of marriage, this situation. You might drift away from one regular principle. But still you continue chanting 16. Don't give up.
Right.
If you continue that, then other habits will be gradually go away, because Krishna is hearing. Krishna is hearing your prayers. Krishna is hearing my prayers. Yeah. What I want, right? So that's the most important thing to chant. Doesn't matter what happens, chant 16 rounds. And that's what by mercy of the Vaishnavas, my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, they have not given up that.
Yeah.
Continued it, Continue, it doesn't matter. Because most of the devotees, unfortunately, when they drift from the Krishna consciousness, first thing they give up is chanting 16 rounds. Yeah. We have seen again and again. Yeah. But that's a strength. That 16 rounds that is you have your unique relations. In the 16 rounds, you and Krishna, nobody else. Mm-hmm. No wife, no husband, nobody. You and Krishna. Mm-hmm. So you cannot cheat him. He's watching. Yeah. He's within heart, he's watching. What are you doing? Yeah. So that's right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. That was really a wonderful talk, and I appreciate so much what you just said about chanting. It's so important and so helpful for us to hear those kinds of realizations. So thank you again for your time.
Thank you for having me. Yes, and this is the first time in my life I have spoken so much like this.
We're very grateful
about my life.
We finally get to hear about Bhadra Prabhu a little bit more than just the kirtan. We know the man inside.
Well, Ratha Yatra is coming this Sunday of Lord Jagannath.
Yeah.
And first Ratha Yatra is coming up on Daytona Beach.
Okay, looking forward to it.
So please, again, all of you, please, all youth who are going to listen this, please participate, please take up. Ultimately, you all will have to run this show.
You can't go to Gasparita Parade. You're sorry, you just can't go.
Please, all youth will have to run these shows, and I know there is still more to improvement. There is no limit to improvement in Ratha Yatras, we know that, and I know you all will do better than what we have done, but at least we are leaving some legacy for you, all of you, to continue it, and you all continue it. Srila Prabhupada will be so happy with all of you.
Thank you for creating a legacy that we can contribute to.
You all will. You all are trained up. So no problem. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Bhadra Prabhu. Thank you. Haribol.
Haribol.